My name is Pius Odhiambo, and yesterday I gave a speech that's going to be read on the 88th birthday party for my dad, Yaduong Lucas Odhiambo. And today I want to give an update of the function. I can say after talking to my people on the ground, we are now ready to host the event. We expect between 200 to 300 people to attend, and all the facilities have been secured. And now what we're waiting for is just, we're waiting for Friday to come. It has taken a lot of work to put everything together. Personally, I've not slept for the last 1 week. I've not slept for the last 1 week because I'm using technology to run all operations remotely. So this is the same thing that we're going to take to your schools. We'll give the community an update of the digitization program for all Kiswate adopted schools by Kiswate. Digitization means that it is going to give the principal, the teachers, and the students the flexibility to learn from wherever they are. They could be at home, they could be in the hostel, they could be traveling abroad to attend conferences. And if you are the principal of a school and if you embrace our technology, you will be able to catch up with what is going on the school, because all the operations are going to be digitized and will be online. Now, having said that, I've today released a diagrammatic representation of all the functionalities of the WhatsApp group or of the KD app that we are constructing. Remember, we are constructing everything from scratch, and we are modeling it to the CBC curriculum, which is pretty new. We are likely to be the first group to come up with the digital tools for the CBC curriculum. And part of those tools are my innovation. I'm the custodian of the knowledge, the algorithm. They have never been used anywhere else in the world. And if something happens to me now, they will just die like that. I've refused to publish them because I want to see what impact they can create in my community or in my local schools. Now, people are confusing Kiswate Digital Academy app with Kenya or with my home sub-county, that's the sub-county of Kenya where I come from. I'm only operating in those places, Kenya sub-county and Kenya, because that's where I was born, bred, got my early education. And as they say, charity begins at home. So if I have something nice, something innovative, something good, it is my responsibility to go back home and start it from home so that my people can benefit from it before any other benefits from it. Otherwise, the Kiswate Digital Academy app is designed for the continent of Africa. Once we are done with Kenya, subject to the availability of funds, we'll move to the other countries in Africa, especially Anglophone countries, before it can be we can translate everything to French and other languages. And we'll start with the East African member states. When I talk about East African member states, I'm talking about Uganda, I'm talking about Tanzania, I'm talking about Rwanda, I'm talking about Burundi, I'm talking about Southern Sudan, I'm talking about the Democratic Republic of Congo, and then Ethiopia. So what does that mean? That if that becomes true, then Kiswate Digital Academy will be having ambassadors in the East African state, and the titles will be the Kiswate Digital Academy Ambassador to Rwanda, the Kiswate Digital Academy ambassador to the Democratic Republic of Congo, the Kiswate Digital Academy to the Federal Republic of Tanzania, something like that. So that's how we are modeling it. And who are going to be these ambassadors? The people that I'm training right now. Remember, I recruited students in class 8 around 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago, and these students have gone through high school, they have graduated, they have done very well. Some of them have scored a grade of A, and they are now at the universities in different parts of the world, including majority of whom are in Kenya. Now, is these students that I'm training to be I've been training them for the last 20 years to be digitization experts. We're gonna call them allies, Kiswate engineers. Kiswate engineers. So they have done so well because all the assignments that I've given them, they have delivered. And when they do this, they don't do it for free. I give them something small to keep them going through the university. Some of them even have made enough money even to pay their fees. So, which is quite a good thing. It's like a work study program. Now, Kiswate digital engineers, I usually tell people that they have small bodies, but with a big brain. When you see them, they are very small bodies, but they have the big brain. So I have the pleasure to name the Kiswate digital engineers that I've cleared to be hired by our school principals to help them in the digitization. So Kiswate digital engineer number 1 is Rose Deborah Opio, a software engineer trained at the East African University based in Kajiado, Kenya. Kiswate digital engineer number 2 is Celestine Jenda, an economist trained at the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. Kiswate digital engineer number 3 is James Odur, an accountant trained at the Multimedia University of Kenya. Kiswate digital engineer number 4 is Michelle Ouma, a pharmaceutical doctor trainee at the School of Health, Medicine and Health at Kenyatta University in Nairobi, Kenya. Shout out to Kenyatta University. I'm also an alumni of Kenyatta University. I was in Kenyatta University several years ago. Kiswate digital engineer number 5 is Michelle Onyango, a media production trainee at the University of Nairobi. Michelle Onyango is from St. Paul Ndenga High School and is a beneficiary or is a Kiswate scholar. Unfortunately, we had to suspend St. Paul Ndenga High School from the team of Kiswate adopted schools. They are free to appeal to the Board of Management, and if the board will convene a meeting and ask them convene a meeting where they will be asked several questions, and based on the decision of the board, they may be cleared or suspended for a number of years. We have a very competent board that deal with these disciplinary issues. Now, Kiswate digital engineer number 6 is Duncan Cheriot, a computer scientist from the Multimedia University of Kenya. Kiswate digital engineer number 7 is Michael Mutuma, business management trainee at the Multimedia University of Kenya. Kiswate digital engineer number 8 is Loveline Atianga, a pharmaceutical doctor trainee at Kenyatta University. Kiswate digital engineer number 9 is Mildred Mora, a pharmaceutical doctor trainee at Kenyatta University. Now, some of you will be asking the questions that you see the team I have is well diversified. They are not only from the STEM subjects pathway, but we have also those that are taking business management, though I'm going to bring some that are also going to do psychology, bring psychology, sociology. We need everybody. Now, then, what are the qualifications? What am I looking for? I'm not looking for anything. I'm just looking for somebody with an innovative mindset that is ready to learn new ideas. because the ideas we are going to use to digitize our schools are very new. Some of them have never been used anywhere in the world. Now, in the next couple of days, I'll be sharing their YouTube profile on public YouTube channels so that people can become acquainted with their background. Now, we have also published a chart to enable my customers, basically principals of 7 schools, understand what I'm doing. So this flow chart will be discussed in the meeting that we have next Wednesday, and is basically talking about Kiswate Digital Academy having 4 modules. And in those 4 modules, module number 1, we have Kiswate Learning Management System. The second module is Kiswate Digital Library. And the third module, which is our final module, is Kiswate Scholarship Fund. So these modules will be interacting with each other in the system and offer services to our learners, which are going to be digital learners, offer services to our teachers, which are going to be the digital teachers, and offer services to our principals, who we are going to train and convert them into digital principals. Now, when we look at the module number 1, Kiswate Learning Management System, this one will host Kiswate Digital Register. Our engineers and consultants are working very hard, and this is going to be ready by the end of the year. And we're going to use it to admit 10th grade students, which are the first cohort in the senior secondary school next year in January. Now, the second tool under Kiswate Learning Management System will be a digital lab. We will be using a digital lab to reduce the shortage of teachers in our schools. With our technology in the digital lab, we're going to convert one TSC teacher to teach in more than one school. And how that does this work? What happened is this: the TSC teacher will teach in their schools as posted by the TSC, and we are not going to interfere with their schedule. But when they are done with their schedules, we are going to empower them using technology to fill in shortages of teachers in the same schools where they work for. If the teacher is working in school A, he can teach in school B to fill in the gap, because we do not have a system whereby, Kenya does not have a competent system whereby when a teacher dies, or when a teacher goes on maternity leave, or a teacher is unable to reach school due to unavoidable circumstances. There's so many schools in the village. My teacher used to refer to them as Uliko Liero Secondary School, whereby you have to cross a river before you get to from your residence before you get to the school. So one morning you can wake up and you find the rains has washed the bridge. What do? You can't risk your life crossing the river. You go back home. And with this technology, when you go back home, you still teach your students, except that you are going to teach them remotely. They're going to go to the digital lab, and we switch on our technology, and the teacher will be able to teach the students. So the student will not waste time in learning. So the digital lab is a very powerful concept with different technologies and capabilities that is going to reduce teachers' absenteeism and also students' absenteeism. It's not only teachers who can be absent school due to unavoidable circumstances. Even students can be absent from school due to unavoidable circumstances. Which are these avoidable circumstances? The avoidable circumstances are like students can become rowdy and strike, and they go away. Long time ago, they used to be expelled. Right now, they are suspended. So we don't want, when a student is suspended from school because he's rowdy, to miss learning time. This student will be able to log in the same class where he was present physically at the comfort of his home. So that if he was striking and burning school furniture, burning school property because dinner was not served right, or dinner was not served right, or there was no water in the school. Now, our technology will empower this student to learn from the comfort of his home, so that when there's no food at home, the student should be free to burn their home. Okay, I think that's enough on the digital lab. Another thing is pandemic. The pandemic will no longer make our adopted schools or our Kiswate schools lose learning hours. Now, the other tool in the Kiswate learning management system is remote digital educators. Remote digital educators, we are going to convert each TSC registered teacher into a digital teacher. That's self-explanatory. Then we also have digital learners. We are going to convert each student in the CBC curriculum from grade 10 up to grade 12. When we are done with that category, then we'll move to grade 7 up to grade 9. When we are done with that, then we'll move from grade 3 up to grade 6. Each and every learner to be a digital learner. Then finally, we'll have volunteer TSC approved, registered foreign digital educators or teachers. From where I live in the United States and any other developed world, we usually have volunteer experience abroad. One of the volunteer experience abroad that is given to these fresh graduates from the universities is to go back to schools in Africa, and they teach for 1 year for free. They teach for 1 year for free. Many schools in Africa benefited for this, and this is something that I'm very committed and that are very committed to bring to my village. This is the villages that are, the schools that are in the Ugenya sub-county. If it works out, then we can get other satellite campuses in different areas of the country, especially the remote areas. And by doing this, we will also be reducing teacher shortage. So this module alone will make this implementation of the CBC curriculum affordable to the parent. Now, people are asking, how long will it take me to implement this? It is going to take me between 1 year to 6 years to implement this. And at the end of the 6 years, we'll withdraw from the schools, the adopted schools, donate all digital equipment and technology that are used to those schools before we become 100% commercial. Now, the other one, the digital library. Now, this is the elephant in the room. This is too expensive for me to implement. Now, implementing this, I hired an expert to do what we call quantitative analysis. I wanted to know how much money do I need to implement Kiswate Digital Library. And I was shocked to learn that we need in the tune of 500 million Kenya shillings. Kiswate Digital Academy, Kiswate does not have that kind of money. So what will happen? Either we'll look for funding. If we can't get funding, then we are going to talk to the owners of the textbook that we are going to use, the publishers, so that they own their books, and we give them a platform to share the books with the digital learners. And if each digital learner uses the book, they're going to pay. And when they pay, let's say they pay 100 shillings per month. And out of that 100 shillings they pay per month, we take 15% to run our programs. So if we are able to implement this, they'll be making more money than what they do right now. I'll convene a conference to invite all the publishers in Kenya to come and listen to me. We're going to make a presentation. If you're able to convince them, then we'll be able to implement this module with less money, as less as 10 million Kenya shillings. But right now, as it is, if you don't bring publishers on board as shareholders, as shareholders of Kiswate Digital Library, the amount of money that I need to do this from the scratch is $500 million US. Maybe the government will listen to this and they may decide maybe to give in, because all our programs are government friendly. We are not going to phase out what the government has already designed, but what we are trying to do is to supplement the good work the government is doing in these our schools. So the other one that this one I've already posted out, and I have a couple of people trying it, and they were winning prizes. And the version we are using is the version that is being used in the United States of America. So we are building our own from the scratch, and this is tailored for the CBC curriculum. Now, the one that I'm building will use my innovation and will be a better version of the one that is being used in the United States. It will be, the algorithm will be evaluating the AI algorithm that I have, that I developed, will be evaluating this very quickly, and the AI will be able to capture in a much reduced time than this. Also, garbage in, garbage out has been addressed, and the AI will be able to estimate. For example, if you misspell the word green, the AI will automatically correct the spelling of the word green when you misspell it as G-R-E-N, and you miss an E, or you spell it as G-R-E-E, and you miss N, or you misspell it as agree. The AI will be able to auto-correct this spelling mistake, the one I'm having, so that when you misspell green, it just becomes green. The one we have currently have got that shortcoming, So we call it the dynamic digital lesson plans, worksheets, and answer keys. Answer keys is an equivalent of a marking scheme. Now, the other one is dynamic digital schemes of work. Another one is dynamic digital timetable. Another one is dynamic exams analysis tool. And another one is dynamic digital exams. Now, people are confusing when they may convert a book into a PDF and host it online. That is a digital PDF file, but it's not dynamic. It's not dynamic. You can't change those words on the PDF and ask the AI to give you some output. No. That brings the difference between that. So I'm not talking about PDF. I'm talking about a 100% dynamic digital textbook. Now, I'm going to explain just a few. I don't want to explain everything because I don't have time. When I talk about dynamic digital timetable, now our experts have studied the CBC curriculum that is starting in 10th grade in January next year, and this is their conclusion, that the CBC curriculum has got so many pathways and is going to give the students an array of choices to choose, so that the student can become successful in an area of his choice, in an area where he can thrive. It's not like the 844, which will choose for you. This time, the curriculum, the CBC curriculum is not choosing for the students. The CBC curriculum is giving the students to choose for themselves. What does that mean? Now, when we put these pathways together, we're going to have in one high school, in one senior high school, like having so many schools put together. So one senior high school in the CBC curriculum is going to be like a number of high schools put together in one building. Now, timetabling will become a problem. Shortage of teachers become a problem. We have so many options. We may be having the building, but we don't have enough teachers. Now, the making a timetable will be a very complex process. A school may take as much as 1 week to come up with a timetable. A school may take as much as 1 month to come up with a timetable. And in some cases, they may not come up with a timetable at all. So this will be very frustrating. Now, we are coming up with a tool which is called Kiswate Digital Timetable Creator, and the schools will just have to key in the number of pathways they are offering. And these pathways they are offering, what curriculum areas, learning areas are they offering, what subjects are they offering, curriculum design and thematic areas. You just key in the system. Then you also key in the number of teachers, and then you click the button, generate the timetable, and the AI will generate the timetable. Within 5 minutes, you have a timetable ready. So that's another tool. Now, I don't want to explain the rest in that category in the digital library. Let me go to the Kiswate Scholarship Fund. Now, I've run the scholarship fund in a few schools, around 9 schools in Kenya, in the villages, in the village which raised me up. And within the 5 years, the impact is so great. I'm able to get Kiswate digital engineers. These students, we paid for them school fees when they were in high schools. We mentored them. We showed them the way, and they followed the way. Right now, they are at the university studying careers of their choices. Now, during this time, we are also able to train them, to convert them into other careers. We call them hobbies, so that they are able to afford their day-to-day upkeep as learning. We don't want them to go without food when they are at the university. And they have done so well. I've also trained them to be digitization experts, and they have done so well. Now, I'm taking them back to the community where I got them from, to the community which recommended them for the scholarship during the 5-year period, so that they give back to the community. And when they are giving back to the community, this is what Kiswate is doing. Kiswate is going to give them a salary, and the schools are going to also give them a salary. So it will be a joint appointment between Kiswate Digital Academy and the schools which raise them. And as they do this, they will also be undergoing the training. If they are able to digitize all our schools within the 1-year frame, so that our schools become 100% digital, then we will be I will be happy to hire them as the Kiswate digital engineers and post them in various institutions, in various schools within the country. And when we do that, we'll be raising revenues. We'll be raising revenue. So Kiswate Digital Academy is not only for schools in Uganda, it's for all schools in Kenya, except that the schools in Kenya are, Kenya are getting it free because I come from there. Schools in Kenya are going to pay something, and I'm going to give them a discount because I'm a Kenyan. But schools outside Kenya in Africa, they're going to just have to pay at the commercial rate, And we don't want Africa to be left behind. Right now, the rest of the world are in the data revolution era, but Africa has been left out. So we're going to cause what we call, how do you call it? There's this expert from Global Peace Foundation, which helped me get the term. His name is Father Dr. Canine. He works with the Global Peace Foundation in Washington, D.C. In Washington, D.C. He is the expert in charge of this for the continent of Africa. I've forgotten the term. When I remember it, I'll bring it back before the end of my press conference. Now, with those many remarks, we are ready to have the function, my father's 88th birthday, on Saturday, June 28th, 2025. And on the sideline of my father's 88th birthday, we're going to officially launch digitization of Kiswate adopted schools. Now, the Kiswate adopted schools are as follows. Kiswate Digital Academy number 001, Luero Elementary and Junior Secondary School. Kiswate Digital Academy number 002, St. Mary's Okwala High School. Kiswate Digital Academy number 003, St. Joseph Woyondo Secondary School. Kiswate Digital Academy number 004, used to be St. Joseph Ochiel Elementary and Junior Secondary School, but they are having issues. So we have suspended them indefinitely. They are not going to benefit from this program. If they wish to benefit, they need to contact the Kiswate Board of Management, chaired Board of Management, and go through the disciplinary meeting. Kiswate Digital Academy number 005 is Woyondo Elementary and Junior Secondary School. Kiswate Digital Academy number 006 is St. Paul's Ndenga High School. Again, that has been revoked, and St. Paul's Ndenga High School is not a member of the Kiswate Digital Academy anymore. They are free to appeal to the Board of Management and go through this disciplinary meeting. If they are accepted back, I'm going to give them a new number. At St. Paul's Ndenga Secondary School, I'm very pained because that's the school that I liked the most. And unfortunately, it has to go and go through the disciplinary. But I'm very pained for losing St. Paul's Ndenga High School. Now, Kiswate Digital Academy number 007 is Kagonya Secondary School, and Kiswate Digital Academy number 008 is Lufunga Girls Secondary School. We had a group of students, 3 of them, who came up with a concept called Lufunga TV. For that reason, I've given them full scholarship from Form 1 to Form 4. We're going to give them a scholarship at the rate of 3,000 per year for the 4 years. The students, some of them are in Form 3 right now, but the scholarship backdated to Form 1 because of their creativity. The only thing they need to do is to fill the Kiswate scholarship form. The forms are with the principal. If they're able to bring that to me during the function, we'll give them their check. If they're not able to bring that to me during the function on June 28th, let them feel free to bring the forms by the end of this term, by the first day of next term, and we'll give them their check. If they don't bring by the first day of next term, then the scholarship will be revoked because things have to be done within a stringent schedule. We'll no longer give scholarship to students who have not filled the form. So Kiswate Digital Academy number 009 is St. Anne's Sega Girls Secondary School. Unfortunately, Sega Girls has also been suspended. He has to go for violating our policy. I find the environment at Sega Girls High School too hostile for Kiswate programs. If they're able to adjust, and then they come up with a friendly environment where Kiswate programs can operate and thrive, they need to appeal to the board. The board will do their due diligence and clear them, and I'll be happy to admit them back to the academy. Otherwise, I'm also very pained to lose St. Anne's Sega Girls High School. Now, Kiswate Digital Academy number 10 is St. Anne's Sega Township Secondary School, and Kiswate Digital Academy number 11 is going to be Barodar Secondary School, because Barodar, we have got news that as principal that is friendly to Kiswate programs have been posted to the school. We are waiting for the principal to take over before we can go there and start the process of adopting the school. Otherwise, I don't want to say much about what happened at Barodar Secondary School, why we could not adopt the school on time like the others, because I may look petty, which I don't want to. So that is it. We have 11 schools. We have 11 schools already. Out of the 11 schools, 3 schools are suspended. So we have 8. Out of the 8, we have 1 that's yet to adopt it. So that means in total we have 7 that we are very ready to roll out the program. Now, in the digitization program, you need internet. You need internet. And the internet connectivity, we will have 2 channels. 1 channel for from the local subscribers. It could be Safaricom, it could be Airtel, it could be any other that operates within the country. Then we're going to have the 2nd channel that we have Starlink internet connectivity. That one uses the satellite and is not controlled by the local regulators. So that is international, the one by Elon Musk. And Elon Musk is my fellow nominee at Macuse, who is who in America. So we'll be very much happy to use some of the products developed by my fellow nominee at Macuse, who is who in America. Now, once you have the internet, what next? You must have power. We are not only asking all our Kiswate Digital Kiswate adopted schools to have power from the national grid, but also to go ahead and have 2 forms of backup power. Number 1 backup power will be a generator, but a generator makes too much noise. I visited Sega Girls last year in September, but the noise coming from the generator was too much. And also, when there is no power from the national grid, then there's exams. The exams have to go on. But the generator can break down. and the students end up missing their exam. So we need them to adopt the third backup, and this is the solar power, which is green energy. They will say these things are very expensive, our parents cannot afford. This is why you mobilize the resources. This is why you need Kiswate. This is why you need your area member of parliament. They have the CDF. This is why you have the county government. So we are using multi-agency approach to digitize the school. Remember, it takes 2 or more hands to tango. Kiswate alone cannot digitize the schools. We just have the idea and the technology, but the facility that the school must have. We have to bring in other stakeholders. We have to open the school to the public so that we'll allow other stakeholders to bring in other resources like solar power, like generator, etc. Now, that's number 2, requirement number 2. Requirement number 3, for us to digitize your school, you must ask your board of management to allow Kiswate to digitize the school by training the staff. And when we train, even if we bring the most sophisticated tools, digital tools in the school, and the staff do not know how to use them, those tools will just gather dust. A typical example, the tablets that were taken to schools by the government. In some of the schools, the school did not take initiative to train their own staff on how to use those tablets. They have been just gathering dust for the last 5 or 6 years. We don't want to do that. We want to train the teachers first. And when we are comfortable that we have a few teachers who are comfortable in using our technology and digital tools, we will now promote that teacher to be a staff at Kiswate, at the same time working for the TSC, to train the other teachers. To train the other teacher, we'll give the teacher a small stipend. And that program is starting on September 1st. Right now, the schools are interviewing our experts. They want to find out the best fit. Some schools are in very remote places, and somehow digitization experts have never been in the rural areas, and we are posting them in the rural areas. So those schools are asking, oh, this born town, can he really work in this remote area, etc. That is what's happening between now and July 15th. And on July 16th, we're going to give a list of confirmed digitization experts that have been identified by our schools. Now, another thing that the schools need, they need a computer lab tech for us to train. There are schools who do not have the capacity to employ a computer lab tech. So what we are asking them, let our digitization experts also act as your computer lab tech, but please, that will be more work for them. That's not what is in their job description, a digitization expert. Can you give them a small allowance? A small allowance maybe at the rate of employing a BOG teacher, so that they are also comfortable, they can be motivated. Now, the other requirement is 1 or 2 schools can come up and get a house. It should be at least a 2-bedroom house. We prefer guest house, but some schools do not have guest houses. Some schools do not even have 2-bedroom houses in their compound. Some schools do not even have houses at all in their compound. How are we going to go about this? For those schools who do not have housing, they can rent in the shopping center. And some are saying, this is going to be too expensive for the school. But look here, you need to smell the coffee. It's not going to, it is expensive when you start, but in the long run, it's not going to get expensive. For example, if we have a 2-bedroom house in the shopping center next to the school, being hired by the board of management for our digitization experts, or for our teachers, volunteer teachers that are coming from abroad, and they're going to work there for free for 1 year. Now, if a 2-bedroom house can house a maximum of 4 teachers, because each teacher can have a roommate in 1 bedroom, and then they share the rest of the facility. That's what happens when they go abroad for experience abroad. Now, it means a 2-bedroom house hired by a school can accommodate up to a maximum of 4 teachers. Now, most of the teachers, BOG teachers in these schools, they earn between 10,000 to 16,000. That is from where I come from. So when I'm talking about 4 teachers, we are talking about saving 40,000 if they earn 10,000 per month. For a year, it's going to be 480,000, $500,000. Now, going by that, we'll save the school hiring BOG teachers at a cost of 500,000 for just 1 year. Now, what about if the schools, that is if the schools were to hire the BOG teachers at that rate? Now, what about what the schools will spend in hiring a 2-bedroom house in the shopping center for 1 year? Those houses go between 5,000 to 10,000. 10,000 is even fancy. I think 5,000, let me use 5,000. Or let me just use 10,000. Now, if a 2-bedroom house in a shopping center like Sega, Ukwala, Ugunja, Bomala, Aboke, name them, Luero, Kakara, Wedeo, Ligingo, Odiado. Those are the neighboring shopping centers to schools in my home country, or home sub-county. Now, 2-bedroom house is going for 10,000. Now, for one 2-bedroom house in a year, it is 10,000 times 12 months, which is going to be 120,000. Against 480,000. So in 1 year, if the schools go by my approach, they're going to save 360,000 on teachers. That will be an expense on teachers that the school is going to save. So it is not going to be expensive. It is going to be too cheap. Now, another thing, what about if they're TSC teachers? The government is trying their best to provide funding to hire teachers. But because of the economy, this is not only unique to Kenya. This is the same. The trend is the same worldwide. The whole world is undergoing an economic turmoil. The cost of living keep on increasing day by day. It is not only Kenya. It is everywhere in the world. And when that happens, the GDP cannot support recruitment of enough teachers to teach in our schools. With my approach, if I bring foreign trained volunteers to teach in our schools, if we employ the technology of converting our TSC registered teachers into digital educators, where one digital TSC registered educator will teach in more than one school, where during the day, the teacher is teaching in the normal school employed by the TSC, but in the evening, when he goes back home, he can teach for some 2 hours through Kiswate Digital Academy, and the teacher will be appreciated, given some allowance, give him some stipend, saying, oh, thank you for embracing the new technology. And this particular teacher will now be available to all schools in the Republic of Kenya to take him as a digital educator to replace the teacher who has gone on maternity leave, the teacher who has gone on paternity leave, the teacher who cannot reach school for 1 or 2 days due to an avoidable circumstance, the bridge has collapsed, the teacher who is sick, the teacher, teachers face a lot of challenges, the same to the students, so that the students do not lose learning hours. Those that the students do not lose learning hours. Now, I'm going to post this press conference or explanation on YouTube. I'm going to open comments. Please feel free to engage me, to ask me any question through comments on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. And at this particular point, I want to recognize my Effie, who is my camera person today, and she has done a good job. You'll see the quality of recording that we're going to post out. Effie is a college student here in the United States of America. I hope you have seen her video. She has been my camera person for the last 5 years. I've run Kiswate Digital Academy. So when you watch this video, please just take your time to appreciate my daughter, my wonderful daughter, who has been a volunteer in the Kiswate Digital Academy. Some of the times, she has also been raising funds that have been used at Kiswate to run the Kiswate Scholarship Fund indirectly. She's now in that is what my daughter Effie has been doing to support me. Now Edith is going to be my cybersecurity engineer. Edith does very well with the computers and things to do with the online security. And she just graduated from high school. She started doing this when she was at 10th grade. 10th grade is an equivalent of Form 2 in the high school. She was in the magnet program in our schools in the United States. And the magnet program she was in is called AVID. AVID means Achievement via Individual Determination. She was supposed to clear from high school within 2 years, but due to some challenges, it took her 4 years to clear from high school when she was supposed to do high school only in 2 years. But all in all, we thank God, which has enabled her to clear school, and she's a holder of the diploma in high school from Montgomery County Public School System. The other person that I want to appreciate is my wife, who has created an enabling environment for me to work at night, for me to work even for 3 consecutive days or 2 consecutive days without any sleep. My Effie daughter has been saying, "Oh, Dad, I've seen you sitting on this table for a very long time. Yesterday night we went to sleep, we left you on this table. Today we are waking up, you are still on this table. It is now 10 o'clock, you are still on this table. Can I give you a cup of coffee to give you energized?" She has also been taking trash out so that I don't need to interrupt my work schedule when working with Kiswate Digital Academy to take the trash out. So those are the little things that I'm appreciating from my very supportive and able family here in the United States. I have another family in Kenya, which comprises of my dad, my mom, and my siblings, my brother, my sister, my nephew, my niece, my relatives, my paternal uncles, all of them in the lineage of my grandfather, senior grandfather, third grandfather. I appreciate all of you. Some of them have been criticizing me, both positively and negatively. And it is through those criticisms that Kiswate Digital Academy has become to be what it is today. So thank you very much for criticizing me negatively, and I encourage you to continue criticizing me negatively. Those who are criticizing me positively, congratulations. I feel appreciated. I feel happy when you criticize me positively. When you criticize me negatively, it makes me to work very hard and even to miss sleep for 2 or 3 days to fix what you are criticizing, if it makes sense. Another group that I want to appreciate is Luero Elementary. Luesa means Luero School Association. Luero Primary School Alumni Association. We have got members there. I'm a member there. We have got members there who have criticized me, and some of them criticize me for nothing. What that means is their criticism does not add value to what I'm doing, because even if I adjust and deploy what they are talking about, it has resulted into 0 results. So to those members, I would like to urge them, when they criticize me, please let them be very fair to me so that the criticism can add value to Kiswate Digital Academy. Otherwise, if it is not adding value, it's a loss of time. And we don't have luxury of time to waste. I want to take this special opportunity to thank my former boss at Olkejuado High School when I used to work with the TSC, Chief Retired Principal, Mr. John Yoya. He has worked very hard. He has bring in some wisdom. He has bring in some qualities of ethical and innovative leadership that we want the principal, all principals who have adopted Kiswate adopted schools to emulate. Now, the other person is my village mate, Ernest Obuar. Ernest Obuar is one of our own. When he was recruited by Dong Rokdala, we didn't know that what he's doing for us will turn out to be this way. So Dong Rokdala recruited him and trained him on how to use a digital platform like Facebook, like Instagram, like WhatsApp. And it's actually Dong Rokdala who bought Mr. Enes Obuar the first the first smartphone and opened for him the first Facebook account, and even installed for him the first WhatsApp application. Now, Obuar, being a standard 8 graduate and a high school dropout, he told me that he dropped out of high school in Form 2 at one of the secondary schools in West Ogenya. I think, I don't know whether it's Miari Secondary School or it's Hafumburi Secondary School. That's what he told me. He is a standard 8 graduate from Magombe Primary School. Now, I'm so happy if a standard 8 graduate can be mentored to use digital tools and bring impact in the community. I'm so happy about this. Now, during the time of Kiswate, Mr. Ogeda, our Kiswate community coordinator, who has since left Kiswate, is no longer a member of Kiswate, trained Mr. Obuar so well how to use digital tools. And Mr. Obuar had been doing it so nicely, to take photos, to take videos of schools, of places we have been sending him to. And we want to take this earliest opportunity to congratulate Mr. Ogeda for training Mr. Obuar so nicely. Now, because of the crisis and because of the conflict that Mr. Obuar has caused in those particular schools, we will no longer allow Mr. Ernest Odhiambo Obuar to access our schools without the company of our CEO, Mr. Yoya. That is what we agreed with Mr. Yoya, where Mr. Yoya, when he comes to a school, because I want everything to be recorded, he will ask for the permission for the principals to record the meeting, and Obuar will record the meeting. At the end of the meeting, we'll share the recording with the principal, and then go away with the video. And it will be sent to me through YouTube. Obuar usually sent to me through YouTube or through Google Drive, which they've done so nicely. Why must the meetings be recorded? Because I don't want Mr. Obuar, Mr. Yoya, or any other person to give me a report on what they discussed with the principal. Some of the times the message gets distorted. So by recording, I will listen to this video and see what requires my attention and take action immediately. Two, it will make my work schedule flexible. I'll listen to that video when I'm available. When I'm available. Remember, Washington, D.C. is 8 hours behind Nairobi. I will not wait to miss my sleep. I will not miss my sleep to wait for Obuar to wake up to give me an update. I will not miss my sleep to wait for Mr. Yoya to wake up to give me an update. But when it is recorded, I can do it at my own pleasure. I can do it at my own time. And therefore, participation in Kiswate activities and programs is voluntary. And if there's any principal or any school which is uncomfortable with being recorded, then they should just let us know, and we'll release them from the Kiswate Digital Academy. We release them from Kiswate Digital Academy. So thank you so much. I'm looking forward to a very successful 88th birthday party for my dad. The best way to honor my dad is to launch digitization of Kiswate adopted schools when my dad is witnessing. Thank you so much. Bye.